This is USA News Hub, the heart of American sports. Subscribe for power, passion, and champions. Something looks different about Coco Gauff at the Australian Open. It's not just the scorelines. It's not just the confidence, it's her serve. And one of the sharpest eyes in tennis history, Serena Williams' former coach Rick Macci, has noticed it. According to Macci, Coco Gauff may have finally unlocked the missing piece of her game. And if he's right, the rest of the WTA Tour should be very, very concerned. United States Coco Gauff off to a flawless start in Melbourne. Coco Gauff's 2026 Australian Open campaign couldn't have started much better. Through 2 rounds at Melbourne Park, the third seed has looked calm, controlled, and, perhaps most importantly, clean, no dropped sets. No panic moments. No serving meltdowns. Victories over Kamila Rakimova and Olga Danilovic were wrapped up efficiently, with Gauff never appearing close to trouble. And that alone is significant. Because for much of the past year, Coco Gauff's biggest opponent hasn't been the player across the net, it's been her serve. Direct hit the serve. Gauff's most talked about issue. Over the last 12 months, Gauff's serve has been scrutinized more than any other part of her game. Double faults crept in at key moments. Second serves became tentative. Confidence wavered. Even during matches she won comfortably, the serve remained a lingering concern, one that opponents knew they could attack. Everyone saw it. Fans, analysts, coaches, and most importantly, Coco Gauff herself. Counterclockwise arrows button a big decision before the US Open. Before the 2025 US Open, Gauff made a bold move. She parted ways with her longtime coach Matt Daley, a decision that raised eyebrows across the tennis world. Not because Daley lacked credibility, but because the timing suggested urgency. Gauff didn't want slow improvement. She wanted answers. That search led her to Gavin McMillan, a biomechanics specialist who previously worked with Aryna Sabalenka, one of the most explosive servers in women's tennis. The message was clear. This wasn't about comfort. This was about fixing a problem. DNA biomechanics over Band-Aids. Instead of quick tweaks, McMillan focused on something deeper. Biomechanics, movement patterns, kinetic chain efficiency, timing and sequencing. The kind of work that doesn't show instant results, but when it clicks, it changes everything. And now, in Melbourne, the early signs suggest the changes are finally settling in. Chart decreasing, double faults down, confidence up. Through her first 2 matches at the 2026 Australian Open, Gauff has kept her double fault count impressively low. Even more telling, in her match against Olga Danilovic, Gauff won an astonishing 84% of points on her first serve. That number jumps off the page. Because it suggests more than just accuracy, T suggests belief. Eyes Rick Macci takes notice. Someone else noticed, too. Rick Macci, the legendary coach who helped shape Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Andy Roddick, and countless American champions. Macci has always been vocal on social media, but when it comes to technical assessments, his words carry real weight. And after watching Gauff in Melbourne, he delivered a powerful verdict. Speaking head Rick Macci on Coco Gauff's serve. Taking to X, formerly known as Twitter, Macci wrote, "Coco's serve is bigger because she is pulling the trigger. The technical modifications have been rewired, and many double faults have expired. Fasten your seat belt as her game has more glue, and she is the fastest in the shoe." Classic Macci. But behind the flair lies serious insight. Pistol, pulling the trigger. What does it mean? When Macci says Gauff is pulling the trigger, he's talking about intent. For much of last season, Gauff's serve looked guided, not unleashed. She was placing the ball instead of attacking with it. Now, she's committing, accelerating through contact, trusting the motion, letting the serve be a weapon again. And when that happens, everything else follows. Brain rewired. The most important word. Perhaps the most significant word Macci used was rewired. That suggests this isn't a temporary fix, it's neurological, mechanical, mental. The serve motion is no longer something Gauff has to think about, it's becoming instinctive again. And for an athlete of her speed and athleticism, that's terrifying for opponents. Magnet, more glue, a complete game. Macci also said Gauff's game now has more glue. In simple terms, everything sticks together better. The serve sets up the forehand. The return applies pressure immediately. The movement resets points defensively. Instead of surviving rallies, Gauff is controlling them. High voltage, fastest in the shoe. This part didn't shock anyone. Coco Gauff remains one of the fastest players in women's tennis, if not the fastest. But when elite movement is combined with a reliable serve, that's when champions separate themselves. United States next up. Hailey Baptiste. Gauff's third-round opponent is fellow American Hailey Baptiste, a familiar face and a dangerous shotmaker when confident. The two have met once before at WTA Tour level. That came at the 2023 Washington Open, where Gauff won in straight sets, 6-1, 6-4, in front of a home crowd. But Grand Slams are a different stage. Bar chart head-to-head advantage. On paper, Gauff holds the advantage. She's higher ranked, more experienced, more consistent. But Baptiste has nothing to lose, and American-on-American matchups often come with added intensity. Still, if Gauff's serve holds up the way it has so far, she controls this match from start to finish. Trophy: what's at stake? A win over Baptiste would send Gauff into the fourth round of the Australian Open for the fifth time in her career. That level of consistency, at just 21 years old, is rare. Last year, she reached the quarterfinals. In 2024, she made the semifinals. The trajectory, still pointing up. Chart increasing. Why the serve fix matters so much. Here's the bigger picture. Coco Gauff is already elite, one of the best movers on tour. A top-tier returner. Improved forehand reliability. A rock-solid mentality. The serve has been the final piece. If that weakness turns into even an average strength, she becomes a nightmare matchup. If it becomes a true weapon, she becomes a Grand Slam favorite everywhere. Brain confidence is contagious. What's striking in Melbourne is Gauff's body language. No frustration after missed serves. No lingering glances at her box. No visible doubt. She walks to the line, bounces the ball, and commits. Confidence on serve spreads quickly to the rest of the game. United States, a leader of American tennis. Gauff isn't just chasing personal success, she's leading a new American wave. The Australian Open 2026. Multiple U.S. women have shown strong form, but Gauff remains the standard-bearer. The one others are measured against. Crystal ball: if Macci is right. If Rick Macci's assessment holds, and early evidence suggests it does, then Coco Gauff's ceiling just got higher. Much higher. The serve that once caused anxiety may now create pressure, and pressure wins big matches. Coco Gauff didn't fix her serve overnight. She acknowledged a weakness. Made a tough coaching call. Put in unseen work. Trusted the process. Now, in Melbourne, the results are starting to show. The Australian Open has a habit of revealing who's ready. And if this version of Coco Gauff keeps serving like this, the rest of the draw needs to buckle up. For more breaking tennis news, technical breakdowns, and Grand Slam coverage, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because Coco Gauff's evolution, it's happening right in front of us. Make sure you subscribe to USA News Hub United States. More breaking news. More powerful stories. More champions. Coming your way. See you soon.